What if I told you that the Vikings were more than just brutal warriors? That they had advanced technology, mysterious rituals, and shocking traditions that will completely change the way you see them? Stick around, because you won't believe these 10 mind-blowing Viking facts. The Vikings have a reputation for being ruthless conquerors, but their world was far more complex than history books let on. They were explorers, traders, and innovators with a deep-rooted culture full of surprises. In today's video, we're uncovering 10 of the most shocking Viking facts that you probably didn't know. Fact number 1, the Vikings didn't wear horned helmets. Let's start with the most famous myth, horned helmets. You've seen them in movies, cartoons, and Halloween costumes. But guess what? The Vikings never actually wore them. In reality, their helmets were practical, made of iron or leather, built for battle, not theatrics. The horned helmet idea comes from 19th century opera costumes. So, next time you picture a Viking, remove the horns. Fact number 2, Vikings had exceptional hygiene. Believe it or not, Vikings were some of the cleanest people in medieval Europe. While other cultures bathed maybe once a month, Vikings took hygiene seriously. They bathed at least once a week and even had personal grooming kits with combs, razors, and tweezers. Their obsession with cleanliness was so strong that even their enemies took notice. So, were they really dirty barbarians? Think again. Fact number 3, Vikings were pioneers in North America. Forget Columbus. The Vikings were the first Europeans to set foot in North America, 500 years before him. Led by Leif Erikson, they reached what is now Canada and called it Vinland. Archaeological discoveries in Newfoundland prove that Vikings built settlements there. Imagine how history would have changed if they had stayed. Fact number 4, Viking women had more rights than most. Viking society was surprisingly progressive when it came to women's rights. Unlike most medieval cultures, Viking women could own land, divorce their husbands, and even fight in battle. Some were powerful rulers, and shield maidens, female warriors, were respected on the battlefield. Think Lagertha from the show Vikings. She wasn't just a fantasy. She was based on real historical findings. Fact number 5, Vikings used psychological warfare. Vikings didn't just fight with weapons. They used terror to break their enemies before the battle even began. They would scream, bang their weapons, and wear animal pelts to appear inhuman. The most feared among them were the berserkers, warriors who entered a trance-like rage, making them nearly unstoppable in combat. Some even believe they used hallucinogenic mushrooms to enhance their battle fury. Fact number 6, Vikings loved sports and games. When they weren't raiding or trading, Vikings enjoyed sports and games. They played a hockey-like game called nataliker, wrestled, and even gambled with dice and board games. Physical strength was a big part of their culture, so many games doubled as training for battle. Who knew Vikings had time for fun? Fact number 7, Vikings left hidden messages in runes. Vikings didn't just communicate through spoken language. They carved runes, an ancient alphabet, onto stones, weapons, and buildings. But here's the twist. Many of these runes contained secret messages, jokes, or even insults. Imagine finding Viking graffiti from over 1,000 years ago. Fact 38, Vikings had strange funeral rituals. Viking funerals weren't always the dramatic burning ship scenes you see in movies. Most Vikings were buried in earth mounds or ship graves. But here's the shocking part. Some Viking leaders were sent off with human sacrifices. Slaves or concubines were sometimes killed to accompany their masters into the afterlife. A dark and brutal tradition, but one that reflects their strong belief in the next world. Fact number 9. Vikings traveled farther than you think. When we think of Vikings, we think of Scandinavia. But they traveled much farther. They reached the Middle East, Asia, and even Russia, trading goods like furs and honey for silk and silver. In fact, the word Russia comes from the Vikings. The Rus people, as they were called, had a lasting impact on the region's history. Fact number 10. Viking bloodlines still exist today. Think the Vikings disappeared? Think again. Their DNA is still present in many people today, especially in parts of Scandinavia, the UK, and even Iceland. If you have Scandinavian ancestry, you might just have Viking blood running through your veins. And there you have it, 10 shocking Viking facts that completely change the way we see these legendary warriors. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into Viking history, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video.